so it's been a minute since we checked out some facts. I ain't gonna lie to you. Jack Neel, in my own personal opinion, yo, get the best freaking facts. But what's good? How you day going? Morning, evening, night. Whenever you're watching this video, about to check out Blood Curdling Facts by Jack Neel, TikTok compilation. This one is pretty long. I'm not gonna lie to you though, when it comes to these facts though, man, because some of them do be like mind-blowing as ish, dog. So I have to pause it and have to talk about it, all right? So the video may be a little long, all right? But hey, I'll give a damn. If you want to check out the original video, link will be in the description below, but let's go.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 27. When 14-year-old George Stinney was executed via electric chair, he was too short for the chair, so he used his Bible as a booster seat. He was later found out to be innocent. In the 1600s, Athanasius Kircher invented a musical instrument made out of cats. He would place them in a row according to the tone of their voice, stretching their tails under a keyboard made out of sharp nails. Texas had absolutely no regulations on natural gas until 1937, when a school blew up, killing 295 students and teachers. No one was held responsible, and the event was so bad that even Hitler sent a letter of condolence.
Damn. Whoa, let me see what these, so are these his words? Let me see, okay.
Teachers. No one was held responsible, and the event was so bad that even Hitler sent a letter
Hold up. On the occasion of the terrible explosion at New London, Texas, which took so many young lives, I want to ensure your excellency of my and the German people's sincere sympathy. Adolf Hitler. Ew.
No one was held responsible, and the event was so bad that even Hitler sent a letter of condolence.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. There's a parasite called guinea worm that enters your leg through infected drinking water, and you won't even know that you have it until a year later when it comes out through blisters on your skin. And at this point, it's over 2 feet long. It's commonly believed that the chlorine in pools make our eyes red. However, it's actually chlorine mixing with urine that causes this to happen. After 49 people were killed at the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, cops were investigating the scene, and you'd think it'd be pretty quiet in there. But it was actually filled with sounds of ringing cell phones. Friends, family members, loved ones, calling the people that they knew were at Pulse and hoping they'd answer the phone and say they were okay.
That's creepy as shit, because, and a thing like that that's really fucking creepy to me, because it's the little things like that, maybe you do, but that I do not think of, like, yo, when officers or people walk into these scenes where these bodies are, you do picture to be, oh my God, just people there around crying, because that's always what you see all the time. It's what you always picture, at least most of the time, whatever, right? But no, the reality is legit. Yeah, like, I saw this car crash once I was watching on YouTube. I ain't gonna lie to you, the music was still playing, and it was creepy as shit, because like, yo, that still happens, right? But the fact that, damn, all these people, their people are calling to check on them, dog. That's legit what you hear. You'll walk into a room and hear crazy cell phones ringing. That's some creepy shit, seeing bodies on the floor. Good gosh, dog. Let me go back. My bad, boy. I'm scared to drink my damn water too, dog. The amount of things that can happen to your body that you don't picture that can happen. Like, yo, it's so many things that can happen to your body just like that, dog. It's also crazy how some people's body can just fight off crazy-ish versus some people's body just not being able to fight off nothing. Like, damn. Exactly why I do not do nightclubs. I'll go to a bar and have an amazing time, dog.
At the Pulse nightclub shooting in Orlando, cops were investigating the scene, and you'd think it'd be pretty quiet in there. But it was actually filled with sounds of ringing cell phones. Friends, family members, loved ones, calling the people that they knew were at Pulse and hoping they'd answer the phone and say they were okay.
Just waiting on that hello.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. This video shows the last living polio survivor from the 1950s, Paul Alexander. He still uses his iron lung all day, every day. There are spiders that capture bats and large birds and eat their living bodies. Llama spit is actually projectile vomit. You never stop seeing. When your eyes are closed, you're actually just looking at your eyelids. And now, your eyes are closed.
Nigga!
I won't do it again.
I don't know where I done threw the weed at this time, dog. Hold up, boy. Right behind me. Woo! I just peeped, dog. He said your eyes are closed. You know when some people tell you facts and ish, most of the time you would do them when they be like the one with like you can't keep your tongue out while sneezing. It'll say something like that, and the next rule will be like, I bet you look stupid right now with your tongue out, or some ish like that. I just peeped that's what he was doing because he probably was thinking, all right, since your eyes are now closed, won't go a damn jump scare. Regardless, eyes wide open, you're still scared the hell out of me, boy.
And now your eyes are closed. I'm sorry, I won't do it again. Being the second most fragile organ in your body, a single punch can completely rupture your liver. A study conducted over several years found that the TSA failed to catch 95% of guns, drugs, and other illegal paraphernalia going through airports.
They should have missed my
Blood-curdling
PS2 games
facts.
they stole. Stole my shit hella, boy. They hit a lick
guns,
on me, boy.
drugs, and other illegal paraphernalia going through airports. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. If your plane is crashing into the water, just know that flight attendants are trained to not allow any dead bodies on life rafts. That means no saving
Makes
grandma
sense.
for her funeral, simply yeet that bitch overboard. 1 out of every 50 women have a third nipple, and 1 out of every 100 men do too. This is known as a supernumerary nipple, and Mark Wahlberg actually has one. Harry Styles
For real?
has 2. Your baby foreskin can be used as replacement skin for burn victims. That means one can quite literally be a dick face. There are corn stars.
So it's funny he mentioned that because my girl showed me a similar little corny joke like this the other day. It was actually pretty funny. Well, basically, I don't remember it word for word. It was this guy who was laying in the hospital bed, and it was captioned some ish around the way of like, there was this guy, blah, born with no eyelids, but since he was getting circumcised, they used his foreskin to create eyelids for him, and it worked out. Only problem was he was a little cockeyed. And I read it, and I was like, ah, ha, ha, ha. I get it.
Means one can quite literally be a dick face. There are corn stars born in the year 2003. That's the same year The Cat in the Hat came out. Male fetuses get boners in the womb, and these can often be seen on ultrasounds. Motherfucker.
Literally.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 34. In 2008, Bruce Pardo snuck into his ex's Christmas party and torched it with a gift-wrapped flamethrower. These 5 Australian children were playing in a bouncy castle when suddenly it was lifted 30 feet in the air by a gust of wind. Unfortunately, they were thrown out of the castle mid-air and plummeted to their deaths. A mother named Heather Pingle died after saving her 4-year-old son from a pit bull. During the fight, she was able to wrap a cord around the dog and strangle it, but not before losing both of her arms and a significant amount of blood. In 1992, a 79-year-old woman purchased a McDonald's coffee, but accidentally spilled it on her lap and suffered third-degree burns. She ended up suing the company, arguing the temperature was far too high, and ended up winning $3 million.
But it's coffee, right? And I'm assuming you ordered hot coffee. Hey, shit. Damn, I be missing the bag, man. Stop playing.
In 1992, a 79-year-old woman
pretty
purchased a
hard from that,
McDonald's
though.
coffee, but accidentally spilled it on her lap and suffered third-degree burns. She ended up suing the company, arguing the temperature was far too high, and ended up winning $3 million. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 35. This creature is known as a woolly monkey, and due to poachers and people trading and selling them illegally, there's only 1,000 of these little guys left in the world. The uncanny valley is a phenomenon in which people become fearful at things that are very close to human, but something isn't quite right. Throughout history, mummies actually weren't that rare. That is, until the Victorian British ate so many of them. During the Arctic exploration, one of the scientists was complaining that his shoes were soaking wet. Later, when he took them off, he found this was because his feet were decaying and liquidized with his blood. A man once donated his recently deceased mother's body for scientific research. Later, he discovered that the research facility sold it to the US Army for $5 grand, strapped it to a chair, and blew it up with explosives. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 36. Babies bounce. Their bones are so soft that instead of thudding, they actually bounce a little. An Arizona man named Paul Menchaca was arrested.
Who tested that?
Part 36. Babies bounce. Their bones are so soft that instead of thudding, they actually bounce a little. An Arizona man named Paul Menchaca was arrested after he faked having Down syndrome and hired female caregivers to bathe him and change his dirty diapers. Kids under 5 years old will often try to hide from a fire instead of running, and firefighters find the bodies. Jacqueline Durand was hired to dog sit for a pit bull and German shepherd and was told that they would be in their kennels. However, when she arrived, the dogs immediately attacked her, leaving her with over 800 bite marks and severe blood loss. If you want to sell your organs on the dark web,
that's why I don't be trusting people. They be like, "Oh, my dog don't bite you," until I said it before. I'm saying it until he say, "I don't bite." Until then, put your dog up. Then I come over, dog. Especially if your dog. I love big dogs. Tell you all the time. I don't like the little dogs. But if you got one and I don't know it, then yeah, put doggy up. I ain't even be showing them teeth. Boy. Get doggy out my face.
100 bite marks and severe blood loss. If you want to sell your organs on the dark web, you'll get the most money for your small intestine, worth about $800,000. This sketch shows the autopsy report of Kobe Bryant after he died in a helicopter crash in 2020. If you look closely, you can see they noted a crown tattoo on Kobe's shoulder. Makes the whole thing a lot more real.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 26.
Hold up, but wait a minute, wait. Damn, so what's the arm? Damn.
Crown tattoo on Kobe's shoulder.
Like
makes the whole thing a lot more real.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 26. Atoms are 99% nothing, which makes us 99% nothing as well. Also, if you come in contact with someone or something, you're not actually touching them. You're simply sensing the repulsion between your atoms and theirs. You can get bed bugs from movie theater seats. In 1386, a French pig was publicly executed for the murder of a child. The pig was given full legal representation and provided human clothes for the trial. A 7-year-old South African girl is more likely to be raped than to receive an education. In the 1950s, many babies in orphanages didn't cry very often because they knew their cries wouldn't be answered. Hans Langseth, the man with the longest beard in history, died when he tripped over it and cracked his neck. The maximum prison sentence in Brazil is 30 years, meaning that mass murderers like Pedro Rodrigues Filho, who killed over 100 people, are walking free today.
Damn, I did not know they cap out at 30.
You wish you never knew. Part 24. Serial killer Joe Matheny sold burgers at his food stand made up of animal meat and the flesh of his victims. Look, I know what you're thinking, and no, this is not a flamingo bludgeoning its head into another while its baby feeds on the blood.
I thought it was.
Instead of the typical white milk, Caribbean flamingos have red milk, and both parents feed their young with it.
Wait, let me say that again.
I know what you're thinking, and no, this is not a flamingo bludgeoning its head into another while its baby feeds on the blood. Instead of the typical white milk, Caribbean flamingos have red milk, and both parents feed their young with it. There are more Panda Expresses in the world than actual pandas. 14 years before the Titanic sank, there was a book released that highlighted the story of an unsinkable ship that hit an iceberg. In the story, there was a shortage of lifeboats and the ship was called Titan. There was a tiger in India known as the Champawat tiger that killed 436 people. Researchers once turned a cat into a telephone, a living cat. And the cat actually survived the experiment. That is, until they killed it to see if the same experiment would work with a dead cat. It didn't. Psycho, The Texas Chainsaw Massacre, Silence of the Lambs, and American Horror Story all have characters based on serial killer Ed, who was so heartbroken by the death of his mother that he began to make a woman suit, so he could become her and literally crawl inside of her skin. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 24. There's been multiple cases of people actually being eaten alive by an escalator. If you like to eat cereal, there's a 21 to 38% chance that you're also eating an Acarus mite. Supposedly, if you have Sanpaku eyes, meaning that there's white below your iris.
Boy, you know how much cereal I eat. What do you say it's called?
If you like to eat cereal, there's a 21 to 38% chance that you're also eating an Acarus mite.
Hey Siri, What is a charismite?
Found this on the web, Bricker's Mite. Check it out.
The flower mite. Let me see. A pest of stored grains and animal feed stuff is one of me. Oh, yo, you know what's funny one time, dog? Is that those little mice? Okay, so one time we were living in Arizona, right? And my friend, well, my roommate at the time, his mom has like bull cool dogs in her home. I mean, like a shit ton. But either way it go up, she brought over some flour and some shit. When it was like some flour, basically like some cornmeal, stuff like that, some powdery type of ish, right? And so I went grocery shopping, and it was like, I want to say not even 24 hours later, dog. Probably was a little longer, probably some days. But regardless, I just went grocery shopping. I remember that part. And everything was open and had these little bitty bugs in it, but it looked black to the point where, like, it was like yo, it looked like it's part of the cornmeal or shit, cornbread, whatever the stuff was, but you couldn't really tell. But if you stop and look at it, it's like it's kind of moving. I'm like, yo, these are little bugs. But then we started noticing it was in every freaking thing, and we thought it was something we don't know, but I don't know how we end up researching it or something. But come to find out, it was something that could have been transported. We figured it was from his mom or whatever. But we had to throw away like everything, dog. At least everything that was dry. I was like, oh my gosh, man. I don't know if this is the same thing, whatever. But let me look this up. Let me say a charismite. But yeah, either way, I don't know if it's the same thing or not. But yo, that was trippy as hell.
Cereal, there's a 21 to 38% chance that you're also eating an charismite. Supposedly, if you have Sanpaku eyes, meaning that there's white below your iris, it actually means that you're supposed to die young. Every time you feel very aggressive, your brain is set to kill for a few seconds. So in that 1 second, you could kill a human being.
Yep. Because logic, I ain't gonna lie, I'm quite sure we all been there. When you get heated like that, boy, logic goes out the fucking window. You legit like that when you hear people say like, I don't give a fuck about none of that, I don't care about none of that, when they be saying shit like that, is because yeah, you could be saying some shit that's right, but they don't give a fuck. I ain't trying to hear that shit. At that point, is
supposedly if you have Sanpaku eyes, meaning that there's
crazy.
White below your iris, it actually means that you're supposed to die young. Every time you feel very aggressive, your brain is set to kill for a few seconds. So in that 1 second, you could kill a human being. When getting laser eye surgery, you can actually smell the parts of your eyes being shaved down by the lasers. If you're a male, after you die, your loved ones can have a doctor electrocute your prostate, forcing you to ejaculate for your sperm. Female dragonflies often fake their own death to prevent rape. If you ever get burned by electricity, it will leave burn marks shaped like lightning on your skin. Many pets actually die because...
I'm not saying like, oh, I want this to happen to people or to me myself, but some people, their scars do look dope. I know a few people blah, who have surgeries that legit look like a dope ass like type of scar, like a villain type of scar or whatever. But yeah, unfortunately how it happened, but hey.
It will leave burn marks shaped like lightning on your skin. Many pets actually die because their owner dies unexpectedly and nobody comes in to check in on them in time. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 23. In 2008, 3 Texas teenagers were arrested after they dug up a skeleton and used the skull as a bong. The police later found that the skull belonged to an 11-year-old boy. While uncommon, there have been many cases of people's intestines being sucked out by vacuum toilets on airplanes. So if you want to keep your rectum, be sure to stand up before you flush. Every single fig has had at least one
shit, but ooh, shit!
Sure to stand up before you flush.
I do that anyway.
Every single fig has had at least one wasp die inside of it. Nosebleeds can bleed out of your eye sockets.
Ooh,
and it's possible to be allergic to your own blood. There's a rare phenomenon called a stone baby where a fetus dies and doesn't get absorbed by the body. And people have been known to carry these fetuses for up to 40 years, completely
this shit
unaware.
went dark, dog.
There's a shack in Louisiana called the Devil's Toy Box where people supposedly lose their minds after spending any amount of time there. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 22. In the 18th century, you could break...
That nigga stuffed on the gas, that series. I mean, that compilation. Hey, my baby's a turn coming up. Slow down, shit, boy. Shit took me to hell and bled out my eyes. Like, hold on.
Facts that you wish you never knew. Part 22. In the 18th century, you could bring your cat or dog to the London Zoo and actually pay your admission by feeding it to the lions. seats. Bus seats are specifically designed so you can't tell how dirty they really are.
Oh, I bet.
When an octopus reproduces, it removes its penis and throws it at the female so she can impregnate herself, and then he grows back another one. Oysters are actually alive when they're served. They don't die until you eat them.
Oh, for
In
real?
Australia, there's a plant called the gimbi, which has such a severe sting that when horses brush up against it, they act.
Oh, let me go back a bit. Let me go back. That's crazy though. Whenever she wants some damn, every time I look, you always want some dick. It's cool though. Watch this new one I'm about to grow. This motherfucker about to be 10 solid. Stop playing with me. That motherfucker gonna have the Snickers vein and all. Stop playing. No, but I ain't know them was alive the entire time though. That's crazy. I love seafood, but that's one side I cannot do. I can't do the oysters, man. That shit looks so nasty, dog.
They really are.
And it'd be-
When an octopus
it'd be sucking
reproduces,
my-
it removes its penis and throws it at the female so she can impregnate herself, and then he grows back
You won't want
another
some
one.
dick.
Oysters are actually alive when they're served. They don't die until you eat them. In Australia, there's a plant called the gimbi, which has such a severe sting that when horses brush up against it, they actually throw themselves off a cliff because they would rather die than experience the pain. Live chat support agents can see what you type before they send it so they can reply quicker. Spider rain, yes, you heard me right, is a real and naturally occurring phenomenon. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, part 21. This photo shows 8-month-old Xiao Bao, who is lucky to be alive because his mother stabbed him 90 times after he bit her while she was breastfeeding him. The world's scariest haunted house, McCamey Manor, requires you to sign a 40-page waiver and undergo a physical and mental
We
evaluation.
just watched that one.
If you manage to make it through the house, you could win $20,000. But to this day, no one has ever made it through. The little girl who voiced Ducky in The Land Before Time was shot to death by her father, who then committed suicide. Roman Emperor Nero had a boy castrated, dressed him up as a bride, and married him, all because the boy looked similar to his previous dead wife. A 46-year-old man found and attacked a 13-year-old boy because the kid was killing him too many times in a game of Call of Duty. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never
dropping,
knew,
doggy.
part 20. During World War II, Disney released their own version of the gas mask, designed to make them less creepy for children. In 2014, after losing her 5-day-old baby boy, a mother attached a gravestone to a sandbox so her older son could play with him. The CPR doll's face that we use today is
It's like I'm not mad at it, but at the same time, it's like, man, do you want to let it go? I feel like, shit, it's a good idea to a certain extent, because like, no, at some point you're never gonna let go if this is gonna be the plan. Whew, I mean, but maybe that's the plan. Maybe we don't want to let go. Shit, some people will say that. I ain't gonna lie, I gotta take it there. Before I lost someone close, dog, I ain't gonna lie. I used to look at a lot of ish one side, like, yeah, that's crazy. People, that's crazy. Why you think like that? But man, the way people respond, I be seeing that ish now. The whole, oh, I feel like they spoke to me some kind of way. Hey, I believe it. Don't even know if it was 100% that way, but hey, you need something to lean on, dog. Like, yep, I took it for what it was. I took it for what I thought it would be. I took it what I thought it would be. Hell, you look at that. Fuck out of here. Boy, I couldn't be no octopus. They'd have put me out the community, boy. I was gonna be talking, yes. I said, what the fuck? Oh, Charlie, damn, stop doing that. every time he come up.
baby boy, a mother attached a gravestone to a sandbox so her older son
if it worked
could
for
play
them,
with him. The
what's
CPR
up.
doll's face that we use today is actually from a 19th century drowned woman's face. There's a forbidden island off the coast of Brazil called Snake Island that's home to more than 2,000 deadly golden lancehead snakes. Starfish
They look like
actually have
bananas.
hundreds of tiny little feet and are able to walk on land, but it looks absolutely horrifying.
Yeah, it
A man
does.
by the name of Timothy Clark Smith was so fearful that he was going to be buried alive that he had his own gravesite customized so he could have a window where his face was and also have a rope attached to a bell so he could ring it to alert people that he was alive. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew, part 18. A man from Queens once spent 5 months in jail completely unaware that his bail was just $2. Since spiders molt, when you see what you might think is a dead spider, it could just be that the spider left behind its exoskeleton and is now bigger than before. Dr. Seuss cheated on his wife while she had cancer and then she proceeded to commit suicide. Almost everyone on Earth is walking around with a bunch of poop inside of them. Scientists accidentally killed the world's
Pocket full of dog shit, just a bunch of poop. I don't know if you listen to like shit talking music, like, don't worry about it, bitch.
while she had cancer, and then she proceeded to commit suicide. Almost everyone on Earth is walking around with a bunch of poop inside of them. Scientists accidentally killed the world's oldest living animal, which was a clam that lived to be 507 years old. Statistically speaking, at least one person who comments on this video will not be alive tomorrow. The real reason you shouldn't eat raw cookie dough isn't because of getting sick from eating raw eggs.
Yo, I just learned this too.
It's because you shouldn't eat raw flour, which contains fecal matter from all the birds flying over the field and pooping on the wheat.
I was always told it was the egg.
Fecal matter from all the birds flying over the field and pooping on the wheat.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 17. There's an 8-year-old boy named Amarjit Sada who became the world's youngest serial killer after murdering his 6-year-old cousin, his baby sister, and a neighbor's newborn daughter. The CIA has a legitimate heart attack gun, and it was exposed to the public in the late 1970s. Project Sunshine was research conducted by the US government in which, after the atomic bombings on Hiroshima and Nagasaki, a network of agents was recruited to locate recently deceased children and steal their body parts for testing on radiation. Both the US and Russia used dolphins and whales to spy on various countries. The FBI sent an anonymous letter to Martin Luther King Jr. telling him to kill himself. It reads, "King, there is only one thing left for you to do. You know what it is." Guys, I just released my first YouTube video. I'm sure you'll love it. Link in bio.
Man.
Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 16. Kangaroos are absolutely terrifying, and if you mess with one, it will likely lure you into the water and attempt to drown you. There's an abandoned Disney park that you aren't allowed to go to, and it was shut down in 1999 because it was infested with free-roaming alligators, the animals were being abused, and an 11-year-old boy died from a flesh-eating bacteria found in the park's waters. In the movie The Wizard of Oz, the lion's costume was made out of a real skinned lion. This is the John Lawson house. No one knows who lives there, but every single day, there are several female mannequins sitting on the front porch wearing a variety of clothing. Their positions and outfits change daily, and many believe this is meant to convey some sort of message. And in 1871, a train crash took place just 200 feet away from the home, killing 22 people. And these mannequins are always pointing toward the crash. Blood-curdling facts that you wish you never knew. Part 15. When penguins can't find love, they waddle off to die alone. Former US politicians stated that House of Cards swim in the ocean.
You go watch my last video if you want to see my reaction to this, because we already this clip. So I think this is just someone who made a compilation. I don't think this is actually from his channel. So this little portion we just watched all this last video. I'll link it in the description. Let's get to. Yep, learned about that. Damn, talk about that. Remember that shit? Yeah, I remember you talking about that nigga right there. Yeah, he said them hoes. I remember that part. He said, cuz said, oh yeah, then she fucked dog. This don't look familiar. Oh, but it's a baby. All right, let me go back. Okay, so right here, I don't think we saw. Oh, not a fucking baby. Oh, the little smoke break real quick. What's this beef that I knew back from 86? Hoes with no clothes, showing love. Shaking that ass in the club, nigga, what? It was 7 p.m. 5 miles to the pound with a piece still, with a piece still. Moving the piece from my open. Moving to the back, that's my shit. Jumping the fives and the rise to the round, to the rise to the rise over. And 7 hours. But jumping them, this Bible. Let's get myself down. When you think we take for the go, myself. A to the motherfucking K to the motherfucking K. Oh, do you wanna ride in the backseat of a caddy and chop it up with do or die? All right, we're gonna go ahead and wrap it up right here, dog. That money, man. Because YouTube gonna demonetize this video anyway, dog. It's still the same now. All right, so actually, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap it up here because I did like toggle through the rest of it to see that the rest of this video that we're currently watching is also the entirety of the video that we watched last video. So yeah, I just leave all that in the description below. I'll link that episode if you want to go check that out. But yo, I'm gonna go ahead and get up out of here. Enjoy your day, morning, evening, night. Don't forget to do your own research as well, dog. Enjoy your day, morning, evening, night. But I'm out.